The church smelled like wilted lilies and old secrets. I stood by my father's coffin, his face powdered into serenity, something he never practiced in life. My brother, Ethan, leaned against the pew, his tie loosened, eyes glassy from expensive whiskey and cheap confidence. When I placed my hand on the coffin, he smirked. "She's just here for the money," he muttered loud enough for the mourners to hear. A few turned. I didn't. My pulse didn't rise, not visibly. Inside, though, something fractured, quietly, efficiently. He wanted a reaction. He always did. Father's favorite son, golden boy with the easy smile, the one who thought cruelty was wit. So I gave him nothing, just a look. Cold, flat, surgical. And then the lawyer entered. He walked with a kind of solemnity that made rooms inhale. "Everyone, please," he said, placing a small black drive on the table. "Your father left a message, to be played before the reading of the will." Ethan's grin faltered. And in that moment, just before the screen flickered to life, I knew something he didn't. Father never recorded things for sentiment. He recorded them for judgment. The video began with static. Then my father's face. Unforgiving. Tired. "If you're watching this," he said, "I'm dead. And if you're still in this room, Ethan, you've learned nothing." Ethan laughed under his breath, but it cracked. Father's eyes shifted, piercing the camera, and somehow me. "There are things you've both hidden from each other. Lies built on inheritance and blood. I left everything to the one who showed loyalty, not greed." The room went still. Father never believed in mercy, only lessons. And he had just turned his death into one final exam. My stomach tightened. There was something else in his tone, a knowing edge, the kind that meant he'd seen more than we thought. The video ended abruptly, replaced by silence so heavy it pressed against my ribs. The lawyer cleared his throat. He requested the final distribution be delayed until verification of matters. Verification. The word hung there like a loaded gun. Ethan's eyes flicked to me, suspicion coiling behind the fake grin. "What did you do?" he asked. I almost smiled. "Exactly what he taught me," I whispered. I spent the next week pretending grief. Black clothes, polite smiles, empty condolences. Behind it, I traced everything Father left. Emails, voice memos, hidden folders labeled with cryptic timestamps. Ethan assumed the will delay was bureaucratic. I knew better. Father was testing DNA, not for inheritance, for truth. A fragment of a voice memo played in my head. Father's voice, weary but sharp. "If blood defines legacy, let the blood speak for itself." I found the test order buried in his medical records. One marked, Ethan, another, Claire, me, and one more, unnamed. The results were locked in a sealed envelope in the lawyer's possession, awaiting authorized release. Father's final cruelty. He made us wait. During those days, Ethan's confidence began to rot. He'd pace, drink, accuse me of manipulating the lawyer. I said nothing. Silence unsettled him more than argument. At night, I'd watch the rain slide down the window pane and think of Father's lessons. How he'd once told me, "Power isn't loud, it's the person who speaks last." I planned to be that person. The lawyer called on a Thursday. "The verification is complete," he said. "You'll want to come in." Ethan was already there when I arrived, sweating through his shirt, hands trembling. The lawyer placed the envelope on the table and slid it toward us. "Your father instructed me to show you both at the same time." I nodded. Ethan snatched it open. The silence after was surgical. I watched as his face drained color, his throat convulsed, eyes darted between the paper and me. The test said it clearly. Ethan, no biological relation to our father. My brother wasn't his son, but I was. He looked at me as though I'd rewritten the world. "You knew?" he rasped. I held his stare. I suspected. The lawyer read the final clause. All assets, holdings, and properties are transferred to my blood heir, to the one who carries my name in truth, not performance. Ethan's jaw shook. Mine didn't. When the lawyer left, Ethan followed me to the parking lot. "You think this means you won?" His voice cracked like glass under pressure. I turned, meeting his eyes in the gray dusk. "It means you were pretending to be someone's son for 34 years. I just stopped pretending to be your sister." He stepped closer. "You could fix this, split it." I cut him off with a whisper. "Father was right. You learned nothing." He looked small then, hollowed out, desperate for a version of reality that no longer existed. I left him there, standing in the drizzle beside his rented car, clutching a name that never belonged to him. The house feels quieter now. His whiskey bottles still line the shelf, the same ones he used to toast himself. I don't drink from them. I keep them as monuments to delusion, to arrogance, to blood that was never his. Father's final lesson wasn't about inheritance, it was about identity. He knew Ethan would destroy himself chasing validation. And he knew I'd find Keese not through wealth, but through understanding what I was never allowed to say. I was never lesser. I was just waiting, waiting for the truth to arrive like thunder after a long silence. And now, it has.